Hello, Warriors. This is Jody with Warriors Rise. I have on an amazing guest, Leigh Dundas. She's been on before, so welcome back. And today you have some new information to share on axing the back. So I'm going to go ahead and give you the floor.
Oh, awesome, Jody. Thanks for having me back again in quick succession, but things are obviously dynamic in our country right now. So you got to keep your ear to the ground so you can know what's coming down the pike. Basically, what's been happening, I'm sure all your listeners are aware, I'm sure probably people in Africa are aware, but Biden made an unconstitutional, unlawful mandate a little while ago. He phrased it as a mandate, but there's no executive order. It's not a law. Laws come out of Congress or legislatures. They don't come out of Biden's mouth. The most he could have done was really an executive order, although last I checked, it wasn't even on the executive order books. So really what he did is he issued a press release saying everybody has to get the shot, and all the employers who have more than X number of employees or work in these industries also have to make their employees get the shot. And that's sort of the backdrop. He's falsely said and set this up as a mandate. From what I'm hearing and what I know as a lawyer, this thing is never going to hold water. Even the liberal talking head law school professors are blogging about how this is not the way to do it. He's asked OSHA to resurrect this archaic emergency regulation pathway that they have. And 45 years ago, when they tried to do it in the context of asbestos, which was a real workplace hazard and a legitimate threat to workers in their workplace, even then it didn't work. And the Supreme Court was like, yeah, nuh-uh. And now we have Biden trying to do it with a virus, which is outside the wheelhouse of what OSHA is supposed to ride herd on. OSHA's existence in the main is designed to keep workers safe from workplace hazards. And a virus that could live in a Swedish person's body or an Australian's body or an American's body is not solely a function of the workplace. It's a virus. It's in us. It has nothing to do with whether it works or not. So I don't think OSHA even really has the jurisdiction, if you will, to be able to do anything. And we have folks in OSHA that we know, and they're like, yeah, what the heck are we supposed to do with this steaming pile? Like, it's just, it's never going anywhere. But with that said, perception is reality. So at this point in time, it doesn't really matter if 5-10 months from now, some court says, hey, Biden couldn't really do what he tried to do. If in the meantime, all of the employers are doing the dirty work, holding his bags for him and saying, well, we're just going to go lockstep with you and say our employees have to get the vax or they're going to be fired. Right. And then if everybody doesn't hold the line and they roll over, he's achieved his ultimate goal, regardless of whether the court ultimately says you couldn't really do it that way. So obviously people need to hold the line. And what I'm here to talk to you about is, bless their heart, I was getting calls all week last week and this week from people who are Americans. And I don't know how many Americans really think about the supply chain. I don't know how many Americans really think about the fact that some people who work have to bring product to the shelves before we as little Americans go out and buy it off the shelf at Albertsons or Target or Walmart or Amazon. Yeah. You know, living in a first world country, we're used to just hopping on our computer or running off to the store on the way home, and you walk into a mall or a grocery store and they have everything. I mean, even grocery stores have office supplies, and even office supply stores have food. It is uniquely a product of a first world country, because when you walk into a store in Cambodia, you have like a pack of pens and a bag of Cheetos, and that's it sometimes. And people, because we live in the land of the free, never really have to think about, how did this product get here? I am here to tell your listeners how this product got there. This product is made by blue collar workers, and it is moved across this country by blue collar boys and girls. And to a man and to a woman, they are not happy with Biden's little fake mandate, not happy in the least. And these workers work at companies that are 40, 53%, 73, 75% unvaccinated. And unlike a lot of the white collar cowards, pardon my French, I said that, I'm a member of the white collar workforce, I'm allowed to, who go, oh, he said I have to do something, I guess I have to go do something. These blue collar boys have more cojones than In-N-Out burgers out on my West Coast here. They're like, we're holding the line. And if you think, Biden, that you can say jump and we're going to say how high, you got another thing coming, my friend, because what these employers are doing on the heels of Biden's fake mandate, is they're saying, get the jab or lose your job. And what the employees are going to be saying is, not so fast, Scooter. We will bankrupt your employer organization. Our loyal little hardworking bodies are going to sit it out and bankrupt you before we ever let this country be sold out. We don't care if we kill the economy. If we kill our country's economy in the process, it is a small price to pay for not ourselves being bankrupt by an unlawful, unconstitutional mandate forced down our throat by our employer, and a small price to pay for saving the remaining freedoms that we have. These blue collar boys, they are playing hardball, and they are striking. They are going to walk the heck out. This is a nationwide, coast-to-coast walkout, and it starts, sharpen your pencils, anybody who's listening, it starts Monday, November 8th, and it goes Tuesday, and it goes Wednesday, and it goes right through Thursday the 11th, which happens to be Veterans Day. It is a 4-day coast-to-coast strike. And when I got off the phone with the blue collar guys, guess who called next? Telecom. Hung up the phone, guess who called next? Aerospace employees. Hung up the phone, guess who called next? Folks south of the Mason-Dixon line that make nuclear products and war stuff, weapons for our military and their subcontractors. Got off the phone with them. And I was talking to people in agencies local, agencies statewide, agencies national agencies. 73% unvaccinated, some of these people. They work in the courts, they work in the ports, they work in the truckers industry. These guys aren't playing. They are here to take this country back. And the dates are very intentional. These guys came to me and they go, look, we've seen the little flyer about November 3rd. 6 hours isn't enough to do jack squat. If we're going to break the supply chain and make a point, we're not doing this for media attention. We're doing this to economically cripple the country and actually make Biden take a step back and rock him back on his heels and show him who runs this country. So we're doing 4 days, and we're the guys who run this country in terms of getting the products on the shelves. We have the ability to cripple it. We ain't playing, but we're not doing 1 day. We're doing 4 days. So that November 3rd thing, that'll be a nice warm up for the white collar workers. We're actually playing ball the 8th through the 11th, and it is an intentional timing because that is exactly 2 weeks ahead of Thanksgiving. And their goal is to wake up America, in addition to bankrupting their employers if they have to, that are forcing an unconstitutional mandate. Jones used to buy pancake mix and cranberries and Turkey Day stuffing on Tuesday of Thanksgiving week, 2 weeks after our little strike and walkout, and there ain't nothing on the store shelves. And then all her friends go to do their little Black Friday shopping to get their sales on, and there's 0 in the malls. Then they're going to have to wake up. They're going to have to face the music. They're going to have to get in the game, get off the couch, and actually do something about the fact that this country is under an economic war. And if they want to play ball, these boys are doubling down on Biden. They're like, you want a war? We'll economically cripple you before we ever let this country be sold out. So that's the game, guys. And if you have not seen the flyer, I don't know if you have it, Jody, but if you do, feel free to screen share. I am doing something I never do right now. I'm promoting, which I'm so bad at. This is the flyer. Thank you, Jody. We can see it beautifully. A beautiful volunteer who has a broken leg actually made this for me. A friend of a friend found her. And you can text the word freedom to 53445. Again, you pull up your text app in your phone and you pretend like you're texting your daughter, but instead of putting 7 digits in, you type in 53445. Again, that number 53445. And then when you get a text window, you type the word freedom in there, you hit send, and this will pop up, or a link to this will pop up, and you can get a copy of this flyer. We're asking everybody who sees this and hears about it to post it on every piece of of social media you have. And I am asking you personally to go one step further. If you believe this country was a unique creature in our planet's history, that our founding fathers had a bright and brilliant idea and lit the light of liberty to live forevermore, if you think our forefathers fought the wars they did and did not die in vain because they wanted us to stay and remain a free country, it is your civic duty. Yes, I just said it. It is your civic duty to take a stand, to stand for freedom, strike for freedom this week, and to personally take this flyer that you're going to have in your phone after you text the word freedom to 53445 and personally make a promise to God, your family, your future children and grandchildren that you are going to get this flyer out to 100 friends and family members of yours, church colleagues at work, people you meet in the street in line at Albertsons. You get this into their hands, because when people know about it, they're going to join us. And the proof is in the pudding. If you look at the very bottom of this flyer, the teeny, teeny, tiny font, every single person who is anybody in this country right now is supporting it. They intrinsically understand that this is the move we have been waiting for. This is a checkmate move. This is a game changer. This is history in the making. So everybody from Bobby Kennedy and Children's Health Defense to Dr. Simone Gold and frontline doctors, America's frontline doctors, to General Flynn, to Lynn Wood. I mean, everybody, every religion is jumping on board. We're getting calls from synagogues. We're getting calls from the Muslim faith. We are getting, obviously, the Christian churches are on the bottom there. They've already reached out to us. Every influencer from Ann Vandersteel, who's going to get me on Charlie Ward, to Mel K this morning, Billings, radio stations, everybody is shouting this from the rooftops. They want you to know about this strike so you can participate. This is how we take back our country. And no, this is not hyperbole. This is the real deal, because the people who run this country, who move this product, are walking off the job for 4 days from November 8th through the 11th. And if you are at a vax mandating employer, it is your civic duty to do the same if your heart tells you so and if federal law allows.
That's exactly wonderfully said. People don't understand. The shelves would be empty anyway because they're after us. We have to stand up together. And I'm going through something right now where I could have a whole bunch of people who know what's going on and they're not standing behind me. And I can tell you that the other day I said something and someone jumped on and said, "Oh, I feel the same way about that." So there's so much what is it, camaraderie and power,
Strength,
and
power.
strength, that we get when we come together. I mean, think the Tower of Babel. Their language had to be confused because it said that, if they spoke in one mind and one accord and they kept doing what they were doing, nothing would be impossible to them. So we really want to encourage everyone to do this. And I know people who took the vax because of their job, but I also know people who've lost their jobs. And I'm sure that's going to be a lawsuit incoming. So it's like, okay, just, we're all going through some hard stuff right now because evil is really pushing it because they know their time's short.
Yep.
So I want to thank you, because everyone, please remember, I'm going to put this text underneath the video and tell them how to reach you and, and do this. And we're going to get this out. I have thousands of people on a lot of social media. I'm going to get it out there. And
please.
And so everyone do this, please. We need to take a stand in unity as Americans, as free people, to say, no, you're not going to cause us to be forced into something we don't want. When it's for them, my body, my choice.
Right.
It's okay. When it's me and it's my body, my choice, I don't want this stuff in me, then it, oh no, you can't do that. It's ridiculous. So
ridiculous. Biden is, fighting, saying, yeah, my body, my choice down in Texas. And then, he's turning around. Oh, but just kidding. It's not your body, not your choice.
Right.
When you're coming up against medical rape and the vaccine jab, and it's just lunacy. But I don't know if your listeners know this about me, but I was on the ground in Thailand in February of 2014. For the last 10 years, I've fought the child brothel industry. I've done a lot of work in Cambodia, Thailand, down on the Malaysia border. And there I was. And every 5, 6, 7 years, Thailand has another coup. They have a coup because they're not a truly free country. And the people of Thailand want what we've been busy ignoring that we've had all this time.
Right.
They want a taste of the freedom that we take for granted, and they're willing to fight to the death. And so every 5, 6, 7 years for the last century, for the last 100 years, they have a coup and they try to oust their old bad leadership and bring in some new actual freedom loving folk. And so they were having their every half decade coup. And it was a bit of a stalemate. The people would out on the streets by the million. It looked like Paris in the streets, a month ago. And you see all these Thai people and they're fighting against tanks and military guys and guns with their bare hands. And you see the people pushing and pushing, and the military moves back a little, loses some ground. And the next day the military pushes back and gains some ground, and back and forth, but nobody's really winning. And this goes on for a while. And then it was game over. One day, the farmers got on their very large earth-moving equipment. They jumped on board their tractors, their earth movers, and they said, enough. Yeah. And they drove these big, large pieces of equipment all the way, bouncing across the rural Thai countryside until they got to Bangkok. And they did an embargo. They blockaded. They basically Bangkok International Airport and brought that country to its flippin' knees. Wow. And that was an interesting day, because I remember looking at that and going, when there's a big old guy sitting on top of a big old earth mover, I mean, these things are literally like, 40 feet high to climb up there. And they're like, an eighth of a mile long. These are the things that take out rainforests. This is not your normal tractor, right? This is an enormous piece of equipment. And when a little motorcycle cop goes over and goes, you got to move this thing. Yeah, you can understand how that whole thing's going to end. That's like Cartman on South Park going, respect my authority. Right. Yeah, I don't have to. I'm sitting on a tractor that's 20 times the size of you, Mr. Motorcycle Cop. Right. And even the cops in the cars, even the cops, even if you get a tow truck in there, it can't do jack. You need a semi-truck tow truck. I don't even know if that's big enough to move earth-moving equipment once they park it. Yeah. But even so, assuming it is, if you've got a mile wide and a mile deep of this equipment, and you bring a semi-tow truck in, nose to tail, you're pulling one of these trucks, one of these pieces of tractors or equipment away at a time, you're screwed up there for weeks because you have used your large equipment offensively to encircle or blockade an airport or a prime minister's house or whatever the heck it is you want to do. The other piece of that equation, there's two sides to that coin. You can use the equipment offensively to block, but you can also use that large equipment defensively. You can just knock it in it and then product doesn't move. Right. The truckers, I'm hearing word all over the internet, all over the CB radio today. Truckers are joining this November 8th to 11th thing. So, and think about how your cauliflower and your paper cups get to your grocery store. They move through trains, planes, automobiles, and mainly trucks. And truckers were planning on doing a little something on the 20th, but I think they backed it up to the week of the 8th because they recognize that the other pieces of the supply chain are striking that week. And everybody's looking to do this once and do it right and send a very firm message to the Biden administration, which is, we run this country, not you. You can take that horse you rode in and on with the bad vax mandate and just take a long walk off a shore pier because we ain't playing ball. Right.
Yeah. And it's absolutely wonderful that people can stand up. The truckers have been yelling for a long time. I saw many videos for a long time where we're not driving, but no one was really listening. So I hope with this, and when we're done, I'll put it on for a little while, just let our program end with just playing this flyer up. But the truckers, they just weren't being listened to. But and I have to tell you, when we had they did it to us. They took everything off the shelves, right? Paper towels, toilet paper. You go in, you go to buy. I went to buy my cat his favorite food. There was none there. Right. Yeah. And I'm like, what happened? So one of the guys that I know, another Marine brother, he said to me when we were visiting at a friend's house, he said, the storehouses were full to the ceiling. He said they had toilet paper and paper towels and everything there. And he goes, and we're all working going, why are they not sending this stuff? Right. So it's going to make a difference when we're in control of it. So get yourself prepared, buy yourself toilet paper, food, whatever you need, get prepared. And then on the 8th, just say no.
Yeah, just say no. If your employer's behaving unconstitutionally, this is generally a free will society. Nobody holds guns to our heads and makes us work. You have the right to work. You have the right to not work generally, unless, there's some law that says otherwise. But, and I'm not telling anybody what to do, but I can tell you what I'm hearing through the rumor mill. And the rumor mill is that the blue collar boys are playing for keeps and they're not showing up the week of the 8th. And I said, if you guys are actually going to do this, I'm going to sing this as loud as I can from every rooftop and microphone that I can get access to, so everybody can join you. They're serious, and honestly, this is a move whose time is long overdue. When the courts have failed us, we saw a federal court judge in Texas 2 days ago sell Southwest downriver. They ruled against Southwest in that lawsuit. And I'm like, are you for real right now? The whole reason, Jody, we have federal court judges is because they're appointed typically for a long time, like for life. And that way they don't have to go stump and ask for donations to get reelected every 2, 3, 4 years, right? So they're typically considered to be more unbiased, and that was intentional. We want to have courts to hear racial segregation, desegregation cases, things like that are touchy political topics 5 decades ago when we were integrating this country. And you want to have somebody who is immune to the political pressures, to the donors saying, you have to do this for me if I donate to your reelection campaign. So these federal court judges are largely thought to be immune and unbiased because of how they were set up. Right. Federal court judge in a red state said, go to heck in a handbasket, Southwest, we're ruling against you. And I think that was the nail in the coffin. The blue collar boys that I've talked to in the last 48 hours are like, really? Well, if the executive branch is turned into North Korea, if the legislative branch that makes our laws is a runaway freight train, and if we got courts who are selling us downriver instead of doing their damned jobs, power to the people. This is a country of the people, by the people, for the people. We have the power. We're making a power play. Biden can go pound sand. We are striking November 8th through November 11th. Again, if you want a copy of that flyer that Jody's had, text the word freedom, simple enough word to remember in this day and age. Text that word freedom to the following number, 53445. Again, that's 53445. Text that word freedom to 53445. Get a copy of that flyer. Let all your friends know. It is going to be a week to remember. We're going to make history right here.
Exciting. Well, I'm so glad that you came on, and I want people to know where they can reach you as well. So your websites, and I'm going to put everything underneath the video so it's easy for the watchers to find you. So
perfect.
So share your information and we'll make sure it gets there.
Yeah, the website to follow me, since I'm banned everywhere all the time, because the more truth you speak, the more ban you get, right? You can follow me, find out when I'm speaking next. That's leighdundas.com. If you don't know, letters. So that's LEIGHDUNDAS.com, leighdundas.com. Sign up to follow me so you can find me when I'm banned. Nonprofit website is citizens-rights.org. Again, that's citizens rights with a hyphen in between the words, citizens-rights.org. And all of my videos and most of the letters I've written to all the school boards, citing all the research and the law about how unconstitutional this stuff is, all that is up under the resource page. You can make use of it yourself. And there's my leighdundas.com website. Feel free to throw a nickel my way. I haven't had a paying job in 18 months. A lot of folks, we've just been throwing ourselves into the, but assuming we get to live another half century, at some point, I'd like to actually have a paycheck again. Most all of those donations, though, have gone literally directly into the fight, like 100% up until now. I've just pushed into doing TV commercials, to push back against the vaccine passports, things like that. But your support is appreciated. Stay in touch. Again, if you text freedom to 53445, we're going to be having rallies They've been taking over the Brooklyn Bridge in New York like clockwork. I think they had 40, 50,000 people up there. Oh,
Right.
yep. That's Citizens-Rights. That is my actual nonprofit. But there are going to be rallies the week of November 8th through the 11th when people are striking and standing for freedom. And you're going to want to join those rallies. And again, we'll text where you can find rallies in your cities.
Excellent. So let's keep in touch, guys. I'll put all of this underneath. They know what it looks like now. So when they get there, they'll know they're in the right spot, and let's support you. Yeah. And I know exactly what you mean, how it is when you tell the truth, but we're finding ways around to get the information to the people, and we've got to stay encouraged. It's a crazy time, but this is the crunch time, and we have to
remember.
The crunch time. Yeah. We have to, as Biden said, we have to remember the thing, we need to remember who we are and who this country is all about. It's not about these dictators. It's about we the people.
The thing is freedom, guys. You're a freedom fighter. We are going to take this country back peacefully by economically not playing ball with Biden's mandates. We are going to strike, and it may cripple the economy. And let's face it, we all got extra toilet paper after last year. Right? And I got a little bit of fat off the land I can live through, even if I don't get my stuffing this Thanksgiving. This is a first world country. We're not going to die tomorrow if there's if there's a little bit of shortage come the week of Thanksgiving. And I think it's going to be like Southwest. They caught the flu, right? Because they're not allowed to strike under federal law. Railroad and airplane employees cannot strike. You know why they said they can't strike? Because it is devastatingly catastrophic to the economy for those boys to strike. So they're not allowed to. So I don't know, some blue Fauci flu hit the Southwest guys and they were out, but if you looked at the comments by the people underneath, all the chats, it said, oh my gosh, I'm stuck in the middle of Nebraska. I'm waiting in a 4-hour line at the rental car place. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get one. It's going to be like $800 to find one if I do. And then I'm going to have a 24-hour drive back to my house. And then after all that, it sounded like it was, ramping up to be a whiny, bitchy fest session. The guy said, and I don't care, viva la liberté. And it was comment after comment like that, Jody. And I thought, that's right. America is fine with a little moment of hardship if it means that we keep our freedoms and we let those blue collar boys know your job is safe, because you'd rather bankrupt your employer than see you bankrupted. So play ball with us November 8th through the 11th. Can't wait to see you guys. And I'll be back for regular updates with Jody. So stay tuned.
Yes, stay tuned, Leigh. Thank you so much. And I'll be talking with you soon. And I'm looking forward to this. This is going to be a very exciting adventure here. I can't wait to hear the results. I think you're going to hear and see the results. I don't think it's going to be avoidable. I think mainstream media is going to probably be forced to cover this. But on that note, you are the new mainstream media. Did you see that CNN has not broken more than 1 million views on any single program in the last 30 days? That's excellent. That's excellent. That's a sign that we're winning the war, guys. And don't you forget it. You are the heroes you've been waiting for. Stand up. Don't shut up. Stand up. Speak up. Fight for freedom. Our forefathers did it. It's the least we can do. We got a country to save. We got kids that we got to leave this planet to, and it needs to be a whole lot better than this year. Yes, I agree with you totally. Well, God bless you. Thank you for coming again, and we'll see you soon. Bless you as well, my dear. Take care. See you soon. Bye-bye.